And hello, everyone. Welcome back to FPL in the Trenches, Frontline Prediction League in the Trenches, Frontline League on Twitter, X, Frontline Prediction League on Instagram with underscores between the words, and the Frontline Prediction League YouTube channel right here that you're watching it on. Like, favorite, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Please, please do. This is a new year. It is January 4th, so it is into our third or fourth. I was getting mixed up. 2021. 2 to 3. We're in our fourth year technically now, but it's like the third anniversary as of January 1st. So we keep trucking on, we keep going on. This is a lot of fun, and we're looking forward to it. But we got to close out 2023 first with World's End. But before we get there, I am your co-host Scott. Joining me as always is BeerMe. How you doing, BeerMe?
I'm doing pretty good, Scott. It's cold here, but other than that, I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Cold. Cold.
Right.
It's not that bad though. It's only like minus 10, minus 13 was most of the day. It says minus 12 right now. But it's windy, and that always adds to it. I know it's Celsius, yes, but I know a lot of people are like, oh, whatever. It gets minus 20 or minus 25 or 30 here, usually January, February. So it's actually really mild right now. Over the Christmas time frame, I was down south in southern Ontario, down in the Chatham, London area. It was like 0, 5. Like positives, and that's t-shirt weather. However, when it's like September and it gets to 5, oh god, it's so cold because you're used to the 25s and 30s. So comparatively, but
Right.
no, it's quite nice. But things are good your way. It's cold. Like
Yeah,
I mean, it's January.
yeah, and we're gonna get some snow, and we really haven't had a lot
Yep.
of snow this year. We've lucked out, but it looks like we might get quite a bit.
I know at the Vancouver way, I believe it's going to be like minus 30s towards next week, and that usually follows suit to my area a week or so later. So it's going to be damn cold next week, or the week after probably. But that's January. That happens, whatever. But there's not much of it. Like there's like a week or two of it. That's fine. So hopefully that's all it is. But yes, it is January. It is a new year. Happy New Year. This is our first episode since like December 12th or something like that. I forget what it was. Because no final battle, obviously. But World's End did happen. We had everything with the go home on that one. And yeah, let's dive in, BeerMe, because World's End was on the 30th, the last main show, the last show of 2023. And we had a World Championship match. And now, admittedly, I wrote everything I wrote for this like around the 10th. And that was it. And then CT and Red took care of stuff from there. CT was actually out as well, so it was really GMSG and Red kind of running the show New Year's Eve. And I was at a truck stop literally during the event because travel got screwy. You can hear more about that on the podcast that's coming out. That's the Top of the Heart podcast. Quick plug there. That was recorded last night. But here, for World's End, I haven't even read this yet. I got to be honest. I haven't. I know it's been like 5 days. I haven't read it yet. I know stuff that happened because I'm part of that, but I haven't read it, but please do. It is in our Discord. Although, like I said before, go down into the YouTube channel down below in this video. Find the Discord link. If you're already on it, just go to the results part. You can go in here to the results page and see the exact page we're looking at with the results, including a World Championship, like I said. Ash retaining over Jackson Myrtle. So Ash does complete the year as champion, as do the must-see good guys. BeerMe Jesus and the GMSG defeated Annex Asylum to retain the tag titles. As did Broken Nerd defeating Orstella to retain the Canadian title, and Redhead 12 defeating Pushino to retain the American title. That was a ladder match. That was a last-minute change because Jut did no-show. He since said he was on vacation and didn't realize he had a match, and I mean, it was a weird time pay-per-view, December 30th, so Pushino got the opportunity, didn't get it. Red did capture the title belt, but no new champion, so that was kind of a big thing that may have happened, but no title changes. So everybody got a defense there. How do you feel about turning back Annex Asylum again, BeerMe?
Feels good. It was a little scary though because we were similar on a lot of picks, except Miro and Andrade, and Kingston and Mox.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a little hectic towards. Because even it came down to Kingston and Mox. If Mox would have won, we would have lost. So.
Oh wow!
But,
And the score was 82 to 58, so that tells you how much that was worth.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, yeah. It would. Yeah, we would have lost because even with Joe beating MJF, I don't think we would have won. So, because we had quite a bit on Kingston. We actually had a lot on Kingston. So,
But yeah, all the champions did retain. Obviously, the Sheriff did not defend the European title, but if he did, he would have lost it to James Blake. So we had a champion lose. Sheriff will be defending it. Hard to kill. More on that as we go. But the MBPA did defeat Kings of the FPL. The Kings can't challenge for the tag titles, and the MBPA kind of just lost to the champs as well. But really, you guys are going through the division. They might be up next. It's a matter of kind of seeing where things lie and where that match happens, and see if we can solidify a contender, or they might be like they might squeak out that next defense out of you. I don't know. Well, Mark Harper, Mr. Money in the Bank, did defeat JJ Rocky. We have the Black Dragon Empire, BDE, Atlas Kiyama, Jason Blade, Smooth Rock, and Orion defeated the Strays, Michael Marsh and Supreme Rock, and Matt Zion and Cam Popplestone. Team No Chance, Costner, and Dionio defeated the Light of the Cult, Jordison, and Cult, and happy birthday, JD, today. 76-66, that is a win that Team No Chance much needed. One that I honestly didn't realize was so few and far between. Because Costner even said, stop saying I'm doing good. We're not. Like, oh, that's right, you're like 1-4. 2-4, or whatever it is now. So, that works well. Chilltown is Rolantando and Hiroshi and Moses. They defeated the Glee for Killers, Eli and Mr. Glee. Bastion did defeat Larry, so you got to win there. The Goose beat me, and I will apologize to the Goose, because I didn't even know who my opponent was going in, so I didn't pre-write my match. So there was no write-up for my match for the first time, like, ever in the FPL, or even for, like, years in the RPL. And I also would normally do a promo, but I was out of town. So, Goose, I owe you a match, and I owe you a promo at some point. So we got a rematch just to do that. Also, I lost to you by 3, and I duplicated my 3-pointer, apparently. That's the fun of putting picks in on the phone. Yeah. So, I don't know if I would have won anyway. I don't know what my 3-pointer situation was with the one I had versus it. But I want a rematch, Goose. Canadian versus Canadian. We got to do it. And Money in the Bank's in Toronto, but that's ways away. Shades of Smiles beat Billy Grayson and Cammy Cat. Halcyon beat Detrick Cyrus. The Arbiter beat Nayara. Arbiter's doing damn good. Memories, which, okay, so I forget what it was, but I saw a song title that's like, Thanks for the Memories, but all the vowels are gone, so that's how Memories is spelled, so I can confidently now say that's Memories. And someone mentioned that before, but I never clicked into it until literally the car ride road trip that I had, seeing that song title, went, So, yeah, there you go, Memories. Forgive me for the year of not realizing. Beat Viper. 300 Platinum beat El Cid. Chappers beat Papa Snooch. The Gaffer beat Wookie. More on the Brits as we go. Luke Gray beat Payne. Caesar Bianco beat Daisy Noel. And Boonjaw beat Macaulay. Boonjaw making his debut. Eli got the 5th appearance. Orstella and Ayara got their 25th. Boonjaw, Caesar, and Orion won their first. Memories won his 10th. Orion won his first tag. Detrick got match of the night for the 5th time. And that's it for achievements. Not that many, actually, compared to what you'd think. But, like, no new champions. All the people who retained already had retained. So a lot of achievements that normally would be in there have already been accomplished. So, but yeah, the kickoff, like I said, it is in detail here with the newcomers being involved in there. And again, no Goose. I apologize. We'll set that straight someday, Goose. We'll have to encounter in the Rumble or something. I'll make that right for you. Because you know me, I always want to do a fun write-up, and I didn't do a write-up for me versus the Goose. I feel like I missed out. Like, I almost want to go back and write it just so it's there, but we got to move forward. I got matches to write for Hard to Kill. But Chilltown and the Glee for Killers, their match is here with some craziness, and Eli, he's trying. He's doing character chat. He's doing a tournament thing now. He's trying some stuff. I'll face him at some point. This isn't in character, Eli. That promo is going to come. Just keep that in mind. I'll have a promo for you in a bit. Not for January, though, because I'm busy. Aren't we, BeerMe? We'll get to that match in a bit. But yeah. Team No Chance and led to the Calder there, backstage with the Brits. The Brits just had to, like, kind of walk away. Nothing really crazy, nothing bad. They just, time to break up. Much like Briggs and Jensen and Henley. We're just kind of like, we got to go our own ways. So they ended that with wins, as we saw some of there. So that's the Brits. No UK pay-per-view, so I don't get to get that confused anytime soon, but we'll see how that goes. Black Dragon Empire versus Strays, Matt. It says Matt and Rab. We saw how the actual one went down, so oops, CT, when he sees this, will probably fix that. JJ Rocky and Mark Harper, as mentioned. Kings versus MBPA have their match. James Blake and Sheriff as mentioned. American title with some craziness with the new challenger. The Canadian title, as mentioned, and then the tag titles as well. And the world title, and then aftermath of the world title, because James Blake came in with Money in the Bank, but he's not Mr. Money in the Bank. So what? The new Legend New School came out, stuff going back and forth. Blake wants to do what he did last year by winning the world title, making a shot at Ash. So we'll see what happens. Interesting way to end the year with Ash down and Blake standing tall over him. Considering how things went with Blake's world title run and then Ash kind of getting it and winning it back, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see where things go. I'm very excited for 2024. So let's talk about that. 2024, BeerMe. 2024. Are you ready for 2024? Because we're starting with TNA. How excited are you for that? TNA
Pretty
hard
hyped.
to kill. And they announced Hammerstone versus Alexander last night. And oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, it could be a match of the year candidate.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as mentioned, Sheriff is defending against Supreme Rock, which is some fun Strays history. But he is defending his FPL European Grand Prix Championship. We're not going to go through picks right now because we'll have the final rundown next week. But it is a bit weird because we don't have any matches to announce. But we'll still run on the card as it is because it's been a while. Sheriff and Supreme Rock, I think we both kind of said Sheriff probably retaining. Like, it depends on who won the contendership and then who won the title. But I think if Sheriff got it, he'd go all the way. Except for it was Goose, he'd take it here. But I don't know if Supreme Rock will. It being Stray, like historic, I don't know. But I feel like Sheriff got this, but he did just lose. So we'll see that one. But here we go, BeerMe. Match of the night. That's me and Red. Okay. American champion Red and myself versus best in the world, which is Jonathan C.T. Martin and one half of the FPL Continental Tag Team Champions, BeerMe Jesus.
Oh, wow.
So you and CT are teaming up against Red and I.
Can we coexist?
No, you can't. You hate each other. Your Impact history is amazing. And BeerMe. I know it's not Impact anymore. It's TNA now. But it's me and you at Impact for the first time in, I think, literally years.
Yeah.
Because we did that tradition, and then we stopped it, and then it's been other stuff. So I'm excited for that. That's going to be fun. A whole bunch of question marks, and that's it. So that's all we have to announce for that right now. But what's your thoughts on this craziness? How are you and CT going to work?
We'll make it work.
Okay.
But I mean, I honestly, this card scares me because, like I said, there's no TV.
There's no TV leading up to it. You got Hammerstone and Alexander. You got Moose and Shelley. You got a weird triple threat for the X title. You got a goddamn weirder four-way for the tag titles. It looks like a fun
PCO
card.
and Dango.
Which could go either way at this point. Like,
Yeah.
who the heck knows with that? I think the only sure thing is Crazy Steve is beating Tommy Dreamer. I feel. But yeah, TNA gonna TNA. Like
that. They just love Tommy Dreamer, and I don't. I like Tommy Dreamer too as a person. It's just I don't need him on my TV in 2024. Let's just get rid of that.
The key to what you want to do for predictions is what is Impact going to do? What is TNA going to do? Because if TNA, by rights, Tommy Dreamer should lose. But will TNA not pull that trigger and feel like, oh, of course they won't? They probably will. So that's the thought process there. So good luck to everybody on that one. We'll have more matches and the full rundown next week for that. But this is not over because we have the medal ceremony for 2023. That voting is open right now. You can go down to the news part of our Discord, and you can see the list as it is right here of everybody who is in the nominations. There is also the voting page, as well as a sheet that G-Machine's put together as our stats guy of why basically these ones are what they are and what their accomplishments are. So, like, McKennedy's title wins, Ash's record, BeerMe, you're in here, your record and title. Like, they're all listed in there, as are the teams, and I believe the stables. So those are all listed there to see what's what. And the stables are very specific because, like, say Broken Nerd won a title before he joined FBU. That wouldn't be part of the FBU accomplishments. but it would be that he held it during that. Right? So, like, I think there's a couple people who literally went from one faction to another and had success in both. So there's some people who really could be part of the faction of the year multiple times based on this. Like, just looking at it here. I thought there was. At least there was when we were discussing it. I'm trying to remember. Maybe not. No, Mark Harper. He was a Stray and in Symphony. So, maybe. We'll see. So, yeah. But yeah, our superstars of the year: Alexander McKennedy, Ash, the current world champion; BeerMe Jesus, current tag champion; and I'll skip ahead, the GMSG, the other current tag champion; Broken Nerd, the current Canadian champion; Camp Applestone, James Blake, JJ Rocky, Mark Harper, Mr. Money in the Bank; and Red, the American champion. And like I said, McKennedy was a tag champ at the start of the year, and an American champ for a second time. Cam was Canadian champ. Blake was the double champ, co-winner of the Rumble. And JJ Rocky, I think, simply just had the best record otherwise. Because, like, everybody else was, like, a title type situation there. So that's Superstar of the Year. And when you do your voting, you pick your 1, 2, 3. So if you think McKennedy's number 1, you put number 1 on him. Who's your number 2? Cam Popplestone. All right. And who's your number 3? Red. That's number 3. So do that descending. The way it works behind the scenes is they're added up. And I truly forget the math on it. But every number 1 position gets like 3 points. Every number 2 gets 2, and every number 3 gets 1. So it's like an aggregate. So if every single person in our Discord, all 100 people, put McKennedy at number 3, that's still 100 points. And could be number 1 if everybody else is bounced around. You know what I mean? Not that you're just number 1 on the list, McKennedy, because it's alphabetical. You're always up there. You're good. But that's the thing. Like your third choice still counts towards your overall. So. Tag Team of the Year, it is the Kings of the FPL, CT and Escobar. The Kings of the Ring, Bastion and Broken Nerd. The MBPA, who started as tag champs this year, McKennedy and Blade, The Must See Good Guys, who are the tag champs, BeerMe and GMSG. And Shades and Smiles, who had the in between, CJ Hawk and Lexi Brigg. So 3 of the tag champions, and that was it. So it was just the other 2 teams that were really good, which were basically the contenders that took the champs to the limit, and the team that's so good but isn't facing it because they're part of the same faction as the champs. Kind of a no-brainer for that one. For me, at least, I was like, yeah, it's those teams. There we go. Stable. The Brits, FBU, Legend of New School, Strays, and Symphony of Destruction. And admittedly, it was like a thin razor thing here at the very end, but because of the timing of it, Infinity was a faction until Lee left, and Black Dragon Empire was a faction at like the tail end. So it's like, how did these guys factor in? Where does it quite fit? But they didn't quite edge over the other ones because the Brits were solid through this, and FBU obviously with all the championships. Legends kind of came in and are more solid with what they have. Strays and Symphony as well. So those are your stables of the year, or faction of the year, whatever you want to call it. Main show of the year: Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. It's the big 5 WWE, but we kind of aimed that. But we also we tried to make All Out really big. We tried to make a lot of those house shows big. We Forbidden Doors was all fun things. So we try to have fun with those. House show of the year as well: Hard to Kill, Rebellion, Slammiversary, Death Before Dishonor, and Bound for Glory. Last time for DBD in there. That's kind of funny. Match of the year. Forgive the formatting on this, but I'll scroll down here. We went with, I think, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we went with 10. We have BeerMe versus CT in the Crystal Lake Fight Pit submission match at Hard to Kill. BeerMe. That was a year ago, if you remember that one. The 2023 Royal Rumble, the American Championship Elimination Chamber match. Escobar versus Monkey Bong for the Canadian title at Chamber. Two at Chamber right there. Me versus Midnight Rider, Noose Color Deathmatch. I'm kind of surprised that one's there, admittedly. I'm honored by it, but I was like, oh, wow. But that was a big Mania match. It's probably one of my favorite matches of myself, so that's cool. Bastion versus CT at Mania, Bastion versus Smooth Rock, which I do believe we tried to position as the best match ever. Like, that was CT's mission statement for months going in to write it, so I'm glad that one's there. Of course, Must See Good Guys versus Kings of the FPL, the 3 stages of hell. Team Red versus Team RGX in Survivor Series. And FBU versus New School and the War Games in Survivor Series. Feud of the year, CT versus FBU. Red versus RGX, which obviously escalated toward the end of the year. Me versus GMSG, which isn't even over yet. That's still going. Me and Cammy Cat, which has been some awesome fun stuff, and then Escobar versus Alpha Dog, which was probably the most like tragic, heartbreaking turn. I feel it's like, what a thing. Hunter Williams now, right? So we got the Kayfabe Award. We got Broken Nerd attacking CT's daughter at Mania. James Blake becoming double champion at Mania. GMSG and I setting our WrestleMania match, like that year in advance thing. RGX becomes general manager. Jut wins his first match. Goose hatches. Ben Roethlisberger is the special guest referee for the European title match. FBU and the Legends have their stare down at Crown Jewel. The BDE form at Survivor Series, and the Symphony of Destruction implodes at Survivor Series. Master of the Mic, this is for the promos. This is for your character chat. This is for the stuff you type, for the videos you do, for the graphics you do. And that is a hard thing to say who's the best at it, because I do video promos and the odd typed one. A few people do a lot of typed ones. RGX does both, and his typed ones have been awesome of late. I love it. Costner does some kick-ass graphics for his, and does some typed promos as well. BeerMe might say a word. Like, right? So it does depend on who's in there. So who we got? We got Alexander McKennedy. We got Captain Krulix Blackwell, James Costner, Jason Blades, Cammy Cat, Ralantando, Red, RGX, myself, Scott, and Sheriff Dog. And just because I didn't mention you in what I was just saying doesn't mean you're not. Sheriff Dog's promos have been super fun, and Eli's been getting in there too, but kind of too little too late. So. But Face of the Year. We have McKennedy, Ash, Cam, CJ Hawk, James Costner, Jonathan C.T. Martin, Luke Gray, myself, Sebastian Escobar, and Red. Heel of the Year. The Alpha Dog / Hunter Williams, both names. Bastion, BeerMe Jesus, Billy Grayson, Broken Nerd, Chappers, the GMSG, James Blake, Mark Harper, and Sheriff Dog. Turn of the Year. I mentioned it. Alpha Dog turning on Escobar. Midnight Rider turning on Red and I. Nerd joining FBU, turning heel in the process. Smooth Rock joining the BDE, and RGX turning heel in that kind of slow burn kick. Newcomer of the Year, Billy Grayson, Halcyon, Jackson Myrtle, Larry, and Pushino. Sorry, Eli, you needed wins to kind of be on here. It was too little too late, so sorry about that. But Theme Song of the Year, they're literally all listed here. Pick your favorite, go from there. They're all there. And that's it. So please go put your votes in there. Also, just look at these cool graphics that CT did. They're awesome. They're super fun. But BeerMe, any kind of obvious things? Like, I don't want to give away your votes overall here, but like, I mean, you're up there for Superstar of the Year. You're up there for Tag Team of the Year. You're up there for Stable of the Year. You are in Matches of the Year, single and tags. You're in there for Feud of the Year, technically with FBU. You're in there for the Kayfabe, I think. Are you in there for Kayfabe? Yeah, FBU. You're not up for Master of the Mic or Face, but you're up there for Heel and Turn. So you're up for damn near every award, aside from the ones that you wouldn't technically be part of because you're not a good guy and you didn't say anything. But otherwise, right. And you're not new. So how do you feel? Like, what do you see kind of from all that, going through that? Any thoughts on these nominations?
I will tell you, I did vote for myself for Tag Team of the Year. So
I mean, yeah, you've been champs since Mania. Let's be clear. I mean, I voted for you too. I'll be honest. Like, come on, as number one.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to think of what was the hardest one for me. Master of the Mic was one of the tough ones for me to vote on.
That's a tricky one. I don't like voting for myself in that. I give myself credit, but I love others when they step it up. So I didn't vote myself. I don't think I voted myself number one. I might have, but I don't know if I did. But I'll just say that much. I didn't last year either. So
Match of the Year was really tough for me too. I know what I voted for number one, but I can't really remember what I voted for 2 and 3. But that was a hard category.
Yep.
And yeah, there really are some like tough categories where you're like, ooh. Or like face, like, you know, because I'm a heel, so I don't really pay a whole lot of attention to the face side. But so I was like, I went back and looked, and I made my picks that way, and I'm just seeing who the big like baby face was that, you know, the crowd just loves. So
I mean, Hawk is some of those moments. Like the way we wrote the characters, like Hawk and myself are two of the bigger faces that just get cheers, right? Like we get cheers no matter what. But sometimes FBU's written to get like Dominic Mysterio boos. It's like, oh, everybody hates you guys. So like it all depends on how we're trying to write it and treat it. So we try to make it work. We try to make it all fit in the place and have fun with it. So, and obviously, there's sometimes there's stuff missing. It's like, oh yeah, we try to keep in mind of this as we go through the year. There's always going to be some stuff, and I know when Bomber did this for the JRPL, it was like, oh, why not this moment? I don't know. There's sometimes stuff that didn't quite resonate or didn't quite click or it doesn't stick out. And I've said this before on like our top of the card one because we did this last night. For the real stuff, if I'm not remembering it, that's probably a reason it's not going to be in my list. But you can be reminded, oh yeah, that is awesome. And I mean, we'll admit there could be mistakes in here. It's opinion, it's subjective, it's what you like, and we try to go as like neutral as we can. It's not just personal preference, even though we're picking like this kind of stuff. We do remember what people think and what people say when I like this, I like that. That helps us. If you see matches that you really like as the results come out, let us know. That'll help gauge things for what's really clicking and working with people. So that can be fun too. But yeah. So yeah, hopefully you get no awards, BeerMe, because you suck. And I win everything. And that'll be good. So if you want to make sure BeerMe doesn't win, go put your picks in. And I joke. Please vote fairly. Please vote accurately. Please consider everything involved in this. Put your votes in. The deadline, I think, is right there. 11:59 p.m. January 6th, and it is 9:13 p.m. January 4th right now. So this will be up tonight, overnight on the 5th. You'll have until basically the end of Saturday, Eastern, I think. It doesn't say Eastern, so we'll let it slide. If you're Pacific, you got till midnight too, right? Like, let's be honest on that. So put your votes in. Make sure they're in there. It's not like we're gonna. Oh, you were 12:01. This isn't like the deadline for putting your picks. We understand. But yeah, put them in. We'll see what happens. The results will probably be out. I think CT did a write-up last time. We might talk about them on Trenches, if not next week, the week after, with the results are hard to kill. Or it might even be something we do during the hard to kill results, like have like a pre-show ceremony or something in the write-up. That could be fun too. I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see what we do with that. But that's that. And yeah, Hard to Kill is the next one up. That is next weekend. It is the 13th at 8 p.m. It is Saturday. They have confirmed there will be a 1 hour pre-show, so we know finally once and for all. Thank you, TNA. It's 1 hour, so 7 o'clock, meaning a 6 p.m. Eastern deadline next Saturday for that show. And given that Impact is on Thursdays, but there's no TV, still, after Impact Thursday night, your picks page will be up, and you'll be able to put your picks in. We'll talk about it on Trenches that night and go over the final card. So, yeah. Anything else you want to say here, BeerMe, with the new year starting and FPL anniversary and all this crazy fun stuff?
I'm just glad everybody's still with us, and to all the new people that are joining, hello. And
yeah, lots of new faces. That's fun. I like that.
Yeah, and I guess just same time next week. We'll talk to y'all later.
Give or take. Yeah, it's Thursdays ish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it might be earlier than that, but we normally aim for Thursdays, and that's probably the best bet, especially with Impact being Thursday and TV not mattering. Whatever. We'll find out from there. But yeah, we'll see you then. Thanks again, everybody. Again, this is FPL in the Trenches. It's Frontline Prediction League here on YouTube, Frontline League on Twitter, X, Frontline Prediction League with underscores on the words on Instagram. You can go through all those, get into our Discord, live event stuff there. Impact live event will be tonight. I think it's their best of TNA stuff, so there's cool stuff in there. But our Discord's going on, the character chat's in there, this is on there, the votes page is in there, the previews page are on there, the results pages are there. We're in there, all sorts of fun stuff. Please check all that stuff out. And yeah, until next time, thanks again. Have a good night.